Hello again. Right, this is probably my last video because I just want to show you the extension that I've put in, which has increased my running length by an extra 56 metres. We now have from point A right the way round the board back to point A again, a running length of 114 metres roughly, which I believe gives at 00 scale something like 5.2 miles. Now, I went onto the internet and looked at some advice about inclines, and obviously the shallower the incline, the easier it is to get up. I wanted to rise 8 centimetres, which actually took up the whole of the 4.5 metre length of my layout in order to get up there. How to get back down was a bit of a problem. I bought an extra 2 8x4mm boards. Firstly, I added to the left and right a 15 centimetre extension. I then marked out on the 2 new boards 13 centimetres wide, put on 2 rails and a 2nd degree curve at the top. When I was satisfied that it was correct, marked it out, cut it and used this as the template, moving it across the board so that I had a number of straights with a 2nd degree curve at the top. When I had them cut out, I then laid them in position and drilled through the board plus the layout board underneath. I then bought some small bars at 12 centimetres long that are pre-drilled with 4 holes. The centre holes fitted to the board, and I used the 2 outer holes to run a 3mm threaded bar right the way through to the bottom and put nuts on so that I could adjust the height of the extension bridges, if you like. That came round to here where the problem started, because I had to fit the boards so that they would, the support stanchions would go between the lines in the right position to enable the engines and rolling stock to pass without hitting the stanchions. Not as easy as it sounds, and it was a bit fiddly, and therefore when I run you round in a minute, you'll see that some of the bars are not with 2 stanchions, they're only with 1, because you just can't get it in. The lesson to learn is, if you're going to put an extension in, do it first. I then came round to here where we've got a decline of 4%. Now, in order to get round on this part, here, this is as high as I could get, or as low as I could get, to allow trains under, and to get onto my next bit, where it joins onto the rest of the board, that comes out at 4.7% decline. Now, I've run trains backwards on that and they will go up, so not a bad idea to just have a little play first if you're going to put an extension. Now, I'll just give you a run round. This is coming off of the old board, joining up to the new extension. It all seems to be a bit slow, but there we are. Now, the other thing that I did is, when you stood back and looked at what had been laid out, there's holes underneath the bridges where you can see the walls, etc. It looked a little bit odd, so I bought for not a lot of money some pre-cut 4mm mirrors and fitted them to the side of the board so that it gave depth to the layout, and also I fitted them alongside the 8mm extension that I put in. This is coming through the back of the station. These are very good, these cam trucks, but you've got to be a little bit careful. If you go too far, you really can't see anything what's going on. Once I've got the main boards in position and drilled, it looked a bit odd because it was just flat and not terribly safe if you're running engines etc. around. So I bought some extra 8x4 boards, but 5mm thick, and cut the board into strips of 3.5 centimetres width here, and I've got a nail gun, so I put the strips along the side in order to make a fence all the way around on the extension. You've got to be a little bit careful with the nail gun. Keep your fingers out of the way, or it's very easy to become part of the layout. Once that was done, I added the gravel, and with some PVA, standard wood glue, and 50% water, added to the gravel, it seeped down through the extension wall, and everything is then pretty solid. The board now consists of 27 sidings. There are 3 sets of points moving between the lines and 6 crossovers, one of which you've just gone over. 6 crossovers, and before each crossover is a, before each crossover is a 1 metre length of track that I can switch off so that I can stop any trains crashing on the crossover point. The problem with the analog system is that the engines do seem to go in different speeds. Even if they're the same model, they do seem to run it differently, and it's something you've got to really watch when you're running it. So obviously that must be the advantage of DCC. I've got 4 small engines running at the same time on this track. Just to give you an idea, you can run 5, even 6, but you've really got to watch what you're doing because of the crossovers. I did find that putting the gravel down was aesthetically a good idea, but it does seem to set everything in stone. And occasionally you look at it and think, I'd like to change something, but it is a bit of a job. I've also found that because this room isn't heated, there seems to be fluctuations. I've got one engine that works perfectly, but all of a sudden on one of the crossovers it started playing about, and if you're not careful it will derail. Just one engine. I suppose it's the disadvantage of modelling this. It stopped as we went through the tunnel. It's this gremlin, I think, that lives in the house. It's got its own ideas. Most of the points that you'll see along this section here, I can reach from one position. These are designed so that when you open them, the train that's in the siding will push out on the far side, and the next time that the train comes round, it will shut the point on the far side automatically. You do have to be careful that there is no gravel, not even one small piece, underneath the point, because it will cause problems. I'll just stop here for a second. This is where I've connected the boards up. I've bought these strips here, as you can see. This is a point where I've joined 2 boards together, so the outer one takes the threaded bar and the crossover one supports the 2 boards that have joined together, and as you can see they're very solid. Having the threaded bar, putting it through right the way through, very handy because you can make fine adjustments to the layout just to make sure that it's as level as possible. The big problem is that a spirit level doesn't really give you the correct angle, and you've got to put it in place and then go away, look at it from all different angles before you make sure that it's finished and you start cutting things off. Right, start up again. Although the system is analogue and all going round in one direction, having the bridges does make it look like there are 2 directions. Okay, we're back where we started, so that's about the end of that. Thank you very much for watching, and anybody that's in French France, near the Mont Saint Michel, welcome to pop in for a cup of tea. All the best.